Hey guys, I'm Kate. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be chatting with you about a few things while I attempt to learn a new skill. Photoshop. There's a lot of reasons I want to get better at graphic design. It will help me a lot eventually when I'm attempting to rebuild my website. It'll help a lot as an author, both an aspiring indie and traditionally published author, to be able to create something visually pleasing and like enticing and attention getting, especially as authors, no matter their publication path, are expected to do more and more of the promotional work themselves. And I make freaking YouTube videos, and my thumbnails, compared to like lots of other people, make me like a little bit sad. Which is what I'm going to be working on this time. I pulled two thumbnails that I like, one from the book Leo and one from Evelyn from the internets, that I like a lot, but also I think could be like, won't be too hard for my first attempt. They both have this kind of background of other stuff and then them at the forefront and like a line around them, basically. So, you know, here's to hoping. And also, as I'm learning, I wanted to chat with you guys about several things. One, the fact that I had a really big story epiphany for my Scooby-Doo meets Princess Bride work in progress that I haven't touched in over a year, I'm pretty sure. Two, some of my recent reads. Three, a sort of cost-benefit analysis of traveling on my creativity, which was also inspired by the fact that my dad asked me, since we're all in quarantine and lockdown still, kind of, Texas, you weirdo, but this person is, which then inspired me just thinking about the ways that the lockdown has affected my work-life balance after like a month and a half or so. I've reflected on it a little bit differently than I did at the beginning, even as someone who already worked from home. So yeah, let's get started. I also realized in the process of trying to turn to my computer and open Photoshop that I did not ever actually have Photoshop downloaded. So this is what I gotta do first. Ooh, okay, it's now launched. I do think I should take the tour, right? I should do that. Oh, okay. Blah. Oh, look, I can change my color. Oh, you can see the part that didn't get picked. This little selective tool, I don't know how to fix that. Oh, fascinating. Okay, now I'm wearing orange. So first I want to talk about my Scooby-Doo meets Princess Bride story, because what happened is that I was just on a walk, as I do, and suddenly I had an epiphany on how the story should be told. For those of y'all who are new-ish to this channel, because again, I had this story idea ages ago. I think I wrote it for Camp NaNoWriMo 2018, both April and July's camp. I thought the solution was to turn it into like a script, that it would work better in a TV show format, because I wanted to have 7 distinct point of view characters, and I'm not a writer who is yet skilled enough to write 7 distinct point of views. Because my goal is always to make it so that you can tell who the character is without it having to like say who the character is, you know? And I think I nailed 3 or 4 of them, and then the other 3, they all just kind of started sounding the same, and I didn't like it. And yeah, but the story needed the 7 main characters. Scooby-Doo meets Princess Bride. Anyways, and I had this big twist ending that I've always known about, because I want this series, I want it to be a series, I think kind of like episodic in nature, where we're following the same characters. There's gonna be a build, but ultimately you could theoretically pick up any of these books and follow these characters along as they're kind of sort of ghost hunting, kind of sort of. It's a weird concept, but like okay, add the layer mask icon. But finally I figured out how to do it in novel format. I had everything clicked into place suddenly without me. I don't know what prompted it. This is the problem. I wish there was some magical way to be like, what situations all led up so that I figured it out. But it took so long, so it wasn't like it was at the forefront of my brain. It's just the back of the brain doing its thing. And I figured it out. So now I'm not writing from these 7 different point of views. I'm going to write from one specific narrator, and I'm so excited, and it works so well for the story and for the future of the stories and the future of the series. I don't know when I'm gonna work on this story, but it's nice to like have that figured out, because that was the big like story block is a term I've been using a lot lately, where you don't have writer's block, you just don't know how to solve the problem of the story. That was my big story block there. And now it's solved. victory is mine. A year and a half later. I also realized a mini epiphany for the story that I worked on during one of my Write Anything days, actually during that 24-hour write-a-thon. The main character, this girl in high school, struggles a lot with being a perfectionist and lots of things related to trying to excel in such a like strenuous and emotionally taxing way that I think you see a lot in high schoolers and just, I mean, people in general, a subset of people in general. And so I realized what I needed to do was actually make the school specifically like one of those high achieving, like artistically inclined, not just a normal high school like the kind that I went to, but like a very specific school. And so it helps add to that pressure. And I think that actually does something with the friend group around her too. Little epiphanies and then a big epiphany. Unrelated stories, they happen on the same day on the same walk. I don't know. Okay, tutorial's down. I think it is time to attempt the thumbnail. Also, if you hear any weird sounds in the background, Duke is just straight chilling. So we need to set the pixels to, what is it, 1280 by 720? Jeez. I can't remember. Orientation that way. All right. Oh, if I do transparent first, great. Oh my gosh, I'm scared. So a big thing I've noticed with the lockdown is actually that even though my work from home situation, like as much as I miss my coffee shops, I don't actually go out to coffee shops that much. And before I'd talked about how, you know, my parents and my brother and everyone just being home was affecting my productivity. Also now a big difference is that all of my friends are having to adjust to working from home. So I'm having lots of like weekly phone calls with different people in group chats and it's all really great. Except that I'm only good chatting for like certain amounts of time and then I'm mentally kind of tapped. Which sounds terrible. Like I'm really good in person and I'm really good if we're like just hanging out or doing stuff. I get very focused on people when I'm talking with them. So it's like when I'm on the phone with someone, if we're chatting for an hour and a half or 2 hours, like unless I'm out on a walk, that's all I'm doing is chatting with them. And so now it's like I have 2 of those a day basically, or I'll do like a live stream and then have to schedule around that. And it's just been like kind of exhausting. So even filming has been hard because I'm like, I'm just tired of talking. I'm tired of hearing my own voice. It's something I want to continue doing in the future because a lot of my friends don't live near me, but it's like the level of it has just been amplified by everyone else not being used to working from home. It's all very strange, and obviously this is such a like fortunate circumstance to be in. Like I'm not worried about my income being affected and like I still get to like live. Oh, good job eating his food. Oh, good job, Bubs. Good job. And no one in my immediate family or the people that I'm in lockdown with are like essential workers or anything. It's just everyone's affected, I guess, obviously. And I didn't expect that in some ways to apply to me because I was so used to working from home. So yeah, it's been kind of weird, but that also prompted my dad, because I haven't been able to travel as much, to ask me if that's affected my creativity at all, which is such an interesting question because I did find that when I was traveling, I needed some like chill time once I was back from traveling to like get back into my routine. So my routine has shifted now because of the quarantine lockdown stuff, but also I'm not having to take any breaks from the work outside of my own mental breaks, but I have noticed that I need those weekend breaks way more than I did in the past. So yeah, it's all very interesting. But the benefit to traveling, I've always said, is that you're constantly being stimulated with new ideas and new things and new thought processes, like trying new foods. It's just all these new experiences. So I really miss it, but it is something to know now in the future for my productivity's sake, just acknowledging, verbalizing the fact that travel does impact my schedule. Obviously. But again, going back to being able to work from home, I do work when I'm traveling often too. So it's just recognizing my limitations, I guess is what we will say. Like my limitations on my current skill set. I've created a monster. I think I'm gonna take this and go sit down and try again. Yeah, we'll go outside, buddy. The other thing I've noticed is that I've also been reading more. Ooh. So now what happens is, because we're not seeing anyone in person as much other than the people we're on lockdown with, I'm also looking at screens more often. So already looking at screens a lot for work, then like looking at screens as a source of entertainment, especially when the weather's bad and I can't be outside, and then looking at screens when I'm talking to friends. And so what happens is I get so tired of looking at a screen that I've been turning to books a lot more often, because the idea of looking at my phone any longer or anything like that sounds terrible. Also why I've gotten into the puzzles recently. I can just zone out and do a puzzle and it is amazing. It's amazing. But I am rereading Big Magic, which I only listened to on audiobook before, like right here. And I'm actually highlighting the parts that I think are really interesting or really stand out to me. I think I'm gonna have to go back and look at all of the books I've finished this year. I think because I had such a big lull last year when I just was not finishing any book, I might have already read more this year than I did last year in a full year. There was a bee. I don't know if y'all can see him flying around.
Such a good pepperoni. Yeah.
All right, because I'm not getting it left to my own devices, I have turned to YouTube. This guy has a video. I clicked on the one where he's doing the thing I want to learn how to do, so I'm hoping he will tell me how to do it. We're going to frickin' Roku cast this thing. Do I have Hallmark on? Do I have a puzzle? Yes and yes. Okay. Roku. Teach me! Look at this thing I made! Look at it! Okay, so it's not like exactly like what I was talking about, and you know, it does kind of cut off my head, and I also accidentally dragged it too far down. Look, some of this is on me, but I did it. I did a thing that I couldn't do before. Now, I think I'm gonna try one more time to actually make the thumbnail for this video. I was debating just using, I took a screen grab of me sitting outside. I actually kind of like it by itself, but we'll see if I can, we'll just see, we'll see. I'm gonna try one more time. Should I attempt a snap? 1, 2. I did it, kind of. I mean, look, no text has been added, but I have learned a thing today. And sometimes that's all the accomplishment I need. I have learned a new thing. Will I have to do this exact same thing to figure out how I want to put the text on there? Yes. Frankly, learning's exhausting. Anyways, please do comment down below. Let me know if you've had any story epiphanies. Let me know if sometimes they come way later for you than you were expecting. Let me know how you tend to choose who or what is going to narrate your stories. And let me know what skills you're attempting to learn that aren't writing related, but that you hope will help your writing career in the future. Maybe not even career, just like maybe something you've researched recently, like the career of your main character, like how to kill someone. Maybe not that one. Anyways, yes. Thanks so much for watching, and thank you especially to some of my new patrons this month. Lauren Mueller, Zara Hoffman, Turgan, son of Fingolfin, Beth Allison 20, and Alicia, and I will see y'all all very soon with the new video. Bye! So first I want to talk about my
Duke, it's okay, baby.
and other slightly